welcome back to another episode of Nintendo Fanboyz. Steven and I are going to, basically we're going to recap all the big news that happened the other day with the latest Nintendo Direct. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first Nintendo Direct without Satoru Iwata, right?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that was kind of sad, because Reggie did a little introduction there.
He kept it pretty brief. All he said was basically, thank you for your support. And I read somewhere that was a Japanese, cultural thing, I guess, to not dwell on it. I don't know. But I was expecting some kind of tribute video at some point, but that's all they said, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I thought the exact same thing. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, no, whatever is in their culture is, go for it, because obviously he was Japanese. So if that's the way they do it, then so be it. Okay, so we're not going to go in order of what was announced or anything like that. That's stupid. We're just going to talk about what we want to talk about. And so here we go. So we're going to start off with probably the least interesting news, and that's that it was confirmed that Dragon Quest VII and VIII, the two remakes, will be coming out in North America in 2016. The first one will be coming out early summer 2016, and they didn't say when Dragon Quest VIII would come out. My guess would most likely, if they're smart, would be later on, towards the holiday season. Now, why this is big news. This was, for me, I mean, there was a lot of really cool stuff, but this was it. This was the big news. What a lot of people may not realize is that Dragon Quest VII, the remake, came out in 2013. So by the time it comes out here in North America, it will have been out for 3 years in Japan, which is just crazy. But the good news is that Dragon Quest VIII was only released this year. So that's good news that we're getting it so soon already next year. I'm really, really pleased about that. And hopefully, that means that the chances of Dragon Quest XI coming out here on the 3DS, are higher. We're going to have a greater chance of checking those out. And it's kind of funny because I've got a Japanese 3DS with a capture card coming in, and I was going to do Let's Plays of those, but obviously by the time they come in, the 3DS, it's supposed to come in April or May 2016, well, I won't even be able to show that video now because the English version will already be out, which kind of sucks, because now I'm kind of like, damn it, I kind of wish I had a North American one.
Yeah, is that too late now?
I put in a request yesterday. I haven't heard anything back to ask if that's possible to do or not. Because the thing is, it really would depend on Dragon Quest XI. If Dragon Quest XI is going to get released here, then yeah, there's really no need for a Japanese 3DS anymore.
You'd have to think so, though.
Sorry?
You'd have to think so that it would come here. But obviously it won't come here as quick as Dragon Quest VIII because that one was already translated years ago. But you'd have to assume now that everything's possible, except for maybe Dragon Quest X. That's another story. But man, that came out of nowhere. I was watching the Direct and my girlfriend was she was laying down on me just relaxing, and she got the scare of her life when that popped up because basically, I had given up all hope that this would ever happen. I mean, like you said, this was released 3 years ago, so why now? I'm very, very excited and glad about this, but it took me by surprise. I had no clue this was going to happen, and this is almost as satisfying as when they announced the sequel to A Link to the Past 2 years ago. I was not expecting this at all, and man, is the Dragon Quest Dark Age finally over? The third one or the second one, whatever it is.
Yeah, the second one. For me, I think we're going to get into it. You're going to talk about it next, but I mean, there's obviously they've done something here with Square Enix because we've got a lot of announcements for North America. I mean, Bravely Second is coming. There was that Final Fantasy game, which all this stuff you're going to be talking about, and obviously the big news, which I'm not going to talk about. You can do that. But to me, the fact that all of this, everything was just announced in one lump sum like this leads me to believe that, yeah, there's some new contract or something that they just made or something. So I'm really hoping that you got to understand, guys, that I had given up completely, obviously. Otherwise, I never would have ordered a Japanese 3DS with a capture card. I had completely given up hope that these games would get released here. And so now, part of me is like, well, damn, man, is Joker 3 gonna come? Is like 11 gonna get released? Like, you know, we're starting to open up some real possibilities here. Where just a few weeks ago, or not even a few weeks ago, a few days ago, I would have said, yeah, no, that's never gonna happen. But now, who knows? And I'm very, very, very happy about this because now, well, okay, no, let me finish my thought first. Because now, basically, with one mobile platform or portable or whatever you want to call it, 3DS, you can now experience Dragon Quest 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. Like, that's a big deal. You can pretty much play the majority of the Dragon Quest games on your 3DS. Like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, you can even add 10 if you have a Japanese one.
Well, that's it. Well, the thing is, 10 is the one I'm really, really wondering about now. Like, I'm curious if Nintendo, because, like, we know nothing of this, right? I mean, this could just be a wham bam, thank you ma'am, and we're done. We're back to, you know, not hearing any news or anything for a long time. But I don't know about that. I mean, we got a collector's edition of Dragon Quest Heroes. Now we got news that all of these games are coming out, and especially, you know, other things that Steven's going to talk about. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if, like, Nintendo might go, you know what? Yeah, we're going to have Dragon Quest X. It's going to be exclusive to the NX because we know it's coming to the NX.
And I wouldn't be that surprised because they've been on a free-to-play mood lately. They've announced tons of free-to-play games during this podcast that we're not going to touch about because I don't want to talk about everything, but they've done that. And I wonder if they could do the same with Dragon Quest X, since maybe add it as a free-to-play launch title for the NX in North America with microtransactions. I'm sure they could possibly make some money out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. So, anyways, I don't want to stay on this forever.
I just want to ask you a final question. Is it Nintendo publishing these titles? Because it seemed to indicate that it was, but I'm not sure.
We don't know. There hasn't been an official press release on the games itself that I've seen. I've seen that, like, Nintendo issued a press release saying about the games. Like, here, let me look for...
Because I saw the box art, and I believe there's the Nintendo logo on the box art, which usually means they're the publishers.
Yeah. Well, no, if you've seen it and it says that, then yes, that's it. You answered it.
All right. Let's move on with topic number 2, which was the finale of the Direct. The finale of the Direct, which was another bombshell. And it was funny because we all knew there was going to be a new Smash Brothers DLC character announced at some point. So when Wedgie said, I sense a new trailer approaching, right away I knew what it was about. But what came next, I don't think a single person in the world predicted that. Because like you all know by now that it's Cloud will be in Smash Brothers, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. And I was extremely surprised because the first thing they showed was the Final Fantasy VII logo. And as you might realize, Final Fantasy VII was never released on anything but a Sony console, unless you count PCs. But it was never on a Nintendo console whatsoever, not even a portable. So this is breaking ground for Nintendo, because rarely would you see Nintendo releasing something talking about something that's not on their console. And Final Fantasy VII never was a Nintendo game. And now, probably one of the most iconic characters from that era will be available to play in Nintendo's flagship series, which is Smash Brothers. And it looks very, very detailed. You can even see that he has an Advent Children costume. He has a bunch of summons. he has those limit attacks, and he seems to have a bunch of different specials and whatnot. So this is not just a palette swap. It's really, really a lot of detail and attention went into this DLC character, and I was greatly surprised by this, and I can't wait to try it out. There's going to be more details in December, and they're probably going to do the same thing as they did with Ryu and Lucas, I believe. They're probably going to say, and when this direct ends, they'll be available. So I expect that Cloud will be available to download as soon as the next. It's not a direct, I believe, but it's a digital event for Smash Brothers in December. I think it was December 7th, but I'm not sure. You might have it in front of you. But I'm pretty sure Cloud will be available right after that event. And I think you are assuming that someone else will be announced.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that the logo came up was telling because it showed the Super Smash Brothers logo or Smash Bros logo, whatever you want to call it, and then it was a cross, like an X. And that's a very Japanese thing to do when series cross over. Like they would show like Capcom and then an X Marvel when it was originally announced and things like that. And it's basically saying that these series are crossing over, like Tekken and Street Fighter and what have you. So I thought that was very telling, and I liked the way that they initially showed the opening, the very, very opening though, the first like maybe 5 seconds or something like that of the opening to Final Fantasy VII and having the music and all of that jazz. And I thought it was really telling where they were like Smash Brothers cross Final Fantasy VII, and I think that opens up the possibility for a lot of other characters, not just Sephiroth, which is the one I was thinking, but like Barrett could be in there, Tifa could be in there. Like we're talking, there could be some serious characters in there, and then that starts to lead one to start thinking, okay, well, yeah, they're DLC characters, but could we also be looking at amiibos for them? You know, like there's real long-term like impact that could happen because of this. I was really surprised by that, man. I did not see that coming.
Do you think this might bring to a Final Fantasy VII remake on an X?
Maybe, man. I think, well, based on that trailer that Sony showed, right, it said play it first on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, that's the key word there.
Exactly.
If it would be exclusive, they would have mentioned it.
No, we know it's not exclusive. There's no question that it's exclusive, like about that. So the thing is that's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake will make an appearance on the NX, and you heard it here. Probably not first. I'm sure someone else beat it.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it for topic 2. Like we said, it was a huge surprise, and I can't wait to hear more in December. And now I'm gonna move on to our third topic, which was my favorite, which would have been my favorite announcement if it wasn't for the fact that a friend spoiled it for me mere minutes before the announcement. I got a text from Stefan, which is one of my Pokemon friends, and we did a cage log. Basically, it's a Nuzlocke series that we did ourselves at Pokemon X and Y, and we've been wanting to do the same with the original Red, Blue, Yellow. And I have my copies here, and I'm such a baby. I don't want to erase both of them because one of them I have a complete Pokédex in it. And even though nobody cares, I don't want to erase it, whatever. But now we finally won't have to. And I don't know how he found out about this because I was watching the Direct Live, and he texted me that Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow will be available on the 3DS eShop. He texted me that 5 minutes before they were announcing the Direct. So I guess it was leaked somewhere earlier. But man, that came out of nowhere. Well, it came out of nowhere. It will be Pokemon's 20th anniversary next year, I believe. So that kind of makes sense. And they will be released on the exact same day, which is February 27th, that they were released here in North America, which is pretty cool. I would have liked them now, but I guess I'll wait for them. But also, like, something that Nintendo usually does with their virtual console games on the 3DS is that they usually remove the multiplayer. And Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow multiplayer was a huge part of it. Like, you could trade and battle with your friends using the link cable. And they even joked about the fact that the link cable will not work with this, but they did tweak the game so that you will be able to play wireless local multiplayer, which is awesome. That will recreate the feeling I had in 1997 or 98, whatever it was, when I was trading Pokemon for the first time. it's just incredible nostalgia for me. And I actually talked about this on some podcasts of Canadian gamers. Like I probably mentioned this like quite a few times that I want these games to be published on the 3DS Virtual Console, and I didn't understand why Nintendo didn't do it, and now they're finally doing it. I couldn't be any happier. You're probably going to see me download all 3 of these and replay through them all because these are some of my favorite games of all time. And hopefully you give it a chance because I think these won't be expensive, and you might finally give it a chance, although it's not really the best place to start because the series was quite old back then and quite archaic. There's tons of it's very difficult compared to the newer ones for not necessarily good reasons, but man, I can't wait to play these.
Well, it's gonna be interesting. That was so funny when you were like, "Oh my God!" You like texted me like the happiest person, and I'm just like, "Yeah, it's awesome." But it was funny because I missed like almost the whole thing. I only caught certain segments of the direct because I was heading home from work, and I didn't even see that, to be honest. If it wasn't for you who texted me that, I would never have even known. And no, they're not going to be expensive. They're not going to be expensive at all, and it'll be pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, who knows if I'll try it? It's me. We'll see. Now, so next topic is one that got leaked a little while ago. It was a few months ago, I think it was, where they started like rumors of this started to circulate, and that's the fact that Twilight Princess was going to get an HD remake for the Wii U. And well, lo and behold, it is true. Dun dun dun. So they showed some footage of it and a nice trailer or whatever, and I mean, it looks good. That's the one. Twilight Princess is a weird one because it's the one everyone wanted when Wind Waker was originally announced. Twilight Princess is essentially what everyone craved. Then Nintendo gave it to them, and people were like, it's fun, but it's it's all right. Like it was so funny how history works, you know. Like today, everyone is like, "Oh my goodness, Wind Waker was like a revelation, and it's held up so much, and blah blah blah." And it's going to be interesting actually to revisit Twilight Princess. It's going to be very interesting to revisit that one because I actually enjoyed that. Did you enjoy that one?
I did not that much. No, the Wii is the only console I ever stayed in line to buy because I couldn't wait to play Twilight Princess, and then I bought the Wii. I waited in line at 6 a.m. at a Walmart, and bought the Wii with that game, came home, played for a few hours, and then didn't play for 5 years. And then I completed it 5 years after. And it was a good game. For me, it was more of the same. I can't wait to replay this because I played it with the Wii waggle controls, which I thought were mastered in Skyward Sword, but Twilight Princess was obviously not made for the Wii, and I bought the GameCube version years after, but it's still never tried it, so I can't wait to actually try this with normal controls, see if I like it better. One thing I will mention, though, from the trailer is that it's funny that you mentioned Wind Waker, because I find that Wind Waker aged way better than this one, because unlike you, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, man, this game looks like crap. Like it looks ugly. Like you look at the grass, it just looks like green vomit, and it doesn't look good. Like I'm sure it will look a bit better because of the HD resolution, but Wind Waker in HD was fantastic. Like it looked really, really crisp, and this, I don't know. Maybe it's just me because everybody I saw online said that it looked better, but yeah, it does look better indeed. But I don't know. It's a GameCube game, so it's. But then again, so is Wind Waker. I guess the visual style of Wind Waker was a lot better. The cool thing about this, though, they did announce a new Amiibo, which is the Wolf Link Amiibo. Pretty kick-ass Amiibo. It has Wolf Link standing on some kind of rocks with Midna on top of it, and they did show like 5-6 seconds of footage for Zelda on Wii U, the new one, which will still be released on 2016, and they pretty much confirmed that it is indeed still a Wii U game, although I would not remove the option that it will also be an NX launch title. We'll see. But what they did say was interesting because they said that the Wolf Link Amiibo, your data in it will also be able to transfer to the new Zelda game. So I can't wait to see how that works.
Yeah, and Jesus, you stole my my thunder, damn it. What I didn't finish. The Twilight Princess, what I was going to say was exactly what you said. I was going to say that it looked much better than I recall, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good as Wind Waker. Wind Waker, looks almost like it could have been made for the Wii U, but with this, it really shows its age. Like, you could see it when Wolf Link is down, his triangle. His chin is very rough. You know what I mean? Like, you can see the clear cuts of the polygons and stuff like that. So that was one thing I wanted to say. And yeah, about this, I'm wondering if we should read more into this Amiibo or not. I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, ooh, is Midna or any of the other characters going to be featured in this Zelda game, this new one, or is it simply that you're going to unlock, like 1,000 rupees to start? Woohoo.
Yeah, I mean, I never actually thought about that. That's true. Like, if the Wolf Link Amiibo is compatible with the new Zelda game, does that mean that these characters will be in there? Or is it going to be like Hyrule Warriors where it's just random stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, ooh, I wonder if there's more to this. And as for the 3 seconds of new footage we saw, I mean, yeah, the game looks absolutely gorgeous, but I still don't buy it. I really think it's going to be exactly like Twilight Princess, where it's going to hit the NX as well. The fact that we don't even have a title for it yet, I don't know. It seems to me that if you think it's just going to be on the Wii U, I think people will be a little bit disappointed because I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to make that a launch title. But anyways, maybe we're wrong. We'll see. So anything else you want to mention?
No, it's pretty much bang on. Like, this is a huge game. They've invested a lot of money into it, and I think they need to maximize the profits with that game and also launch it on NX and keep it on Wii U so they don't piss off the people that bought a Wii U for it.
That's it. Okay, now, just before we move on, not so much about that, but one thing, I mean, we're talking all about Nintendo here. One thing that I wanted to mention that, we know that Dragon Quest X is coming to the NX. And I believe, didn't they also say that 11 was coming?
Yep.
Okay. Now, those games use a traditional controller interface, so that's something to be mindful of. You know how Nintendo is always, we want to innovate, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do the other thing. Do keep in mind that if it is announced that this Zelda game is going to be compatible, then we're starting to get an idea of what the NX is shaping up to be. But I think we'll do another episode on that maybe later on. Anyways, okay, so topic number 5. The latest sales results for the video game industry, not including the digital downloads, which is actually going to be making a very big difference in the coming years. The MPD is going to have to start doing something to get digital download sales because more and more and more games are being downloaded every single day for consoles, and it's going to start to really make a difference. So anyways, right now, just wanted to put that out there. So for October, obviously, Halo 5 was huge success. But a big surprise was the fact that Yoshi's Woolly World, which is one that I've actually wanted to download, but for one reason or another, I'm so nervous of getting copyright strikes all over the place that I haven't done that. But anyways, it made a surprise appearance, as Steven would say, at the number 8 spot. And it's also very interesting that if they only counted single SKUs, Mario Maker would have actually cracked into the top 10 for the second straight month in a row. So that's really, really interesting. I don't even know what's more impressive, the fact that Yoshi's Woolly World cracked the top 10 or the fact that Mario Maker would have cracked the top 10. I think it just goes to show that Mario Maker really is this generation's Mario game. Now, if you're like, what I'm talking about is during the NES era, the original 2D Mario, Super Mario Brothers, when it came out, that was like the game that I say saved that, like the video game industry pretty much. And that game basically defines the NES. And yes, of course, Super Mario Brothers 3 was, was like the incredible evolution and blah, blah, blah. But still, the original Super Mario Brothers really did define that generation, or that platform, let's say that. And Super Mario World, even though it really never had a direct follow-up. Yes, you could argue, what was it with Baby Mario? Which one was that?
Yoshi's
What was it
Island.
called? Yoshi's Island, thanks. I always screw that up with Yoshi's Story. And yes, I know that was actually called like Super Mario World 2, but still, Super Mario World, when that came out, felt like a natural evolution of Super Mario Bros. 3. And for the Super Nintendo, it helped define another platform. I know some could argue about that, but I'm trying to make a point. I'll get to it. And with the N64, that 3D Mario game really did define that platform. And yes, okay, to a much lesser degree, no, not at all. Super Mario Sunshine did not define the GameCube generation or platform as a whole, but Super Mario Galaxy did. It really, like, to many people, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the best game on the Wii, like, hands down. And to me, Super Mario Maker is going to be the game that I think is going to define the Wii U in the future. And the reason why is because it so perfectly matches this current generation of gamers. That slogan that Little Big Planet created, what was it? Create, player, no, was it?
I don't recall, though.
Yeah, I think it was something like create, play, and share, something like that. Makes sense. And that is the generation that we're living in right now. We really are. And the fact that old timers and new players alike can go ahead and build these crazy levels and just have such a blast with that game, I really do that it's going to go down in history as being like the game that really came to define the Wii U.
Yeah, it makes a very good point there, but the reason I say that it's a prize appearance is because, like we've talked in the last podcast, the Wii U only sold about 11 million systems worldwide. So you can assume that around 9 million of those are in North America. So you're going against the PlayStation 4, which has, I don't know, close to 30 million now, and the Xbox One, which people are saying it's about 15 million. And it's still getting games in the top 10 selling games, even though nobody has a Wii U. So that's why I thought it was extremely surprising. Not so much with Mario Maker, because that's a pretty a quality game. I think it debuted at number 4 last month. But Yoshi's Woolly World, like I've played it. I love it. It's a pretty kick-ass game, but it had mixed reviews. Like, it's not a game changer, if you would say, and it still started at the number 8 spot. Now, some could say that it's because Wii U owners don't have anything else to buy, and maybe that's true, but still, there's not many of us out there, so I was quite surprised to see those Wii U games, because besides Yoshi's Woolly World, there was only 2 other games, single SKU games, on the NPD chart, which was Halo 5 on number 1, of course, and the next one was Uncharted Collection at number 9. So those, like most, I'm surprised why they do that, NPD, though. They didn't in my days. They used to, even though NBA 2K16 has like 4 or 5 SKUs, they would say they would put them all individually, and that would make things a bit more simple, I believe. But nonetheless.
Yeah, I think the Wii U is the hardcore gamer's console. And when I say the hardcore gamer, I mean like the hardcore gamer. Because Splatoon did really good, Yoshi's Woolly World's apparently doing really good, Mario Maker's doing really well. That's actually proper English, but anyway. So, yeah, I think it's just that. Like, a lot of really, truly hardcore gamers have bought into the Wii U, and now they're eating up the exclusive good quality games that are coming out. And I think that's good. That's actually a great thing.
Okay, moving on. You actually mentioned Splatoon, and I wanted to talk about it a bit. Did you actually play Splatoon yet?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Well, it's a pretty like I couldn't get into it for long. I played it when it came out and was having a blast, but I thought that the gameplay was extremely repetitive. But to its credit, though, it came out in May, and since then it has pumped up so much free DLC, and that's something you have to admire with Nintendo. Like most of their games get free DLC, and not just one or two maps. They get free DLC for a while. Like Splatoon, it's been out since May. That's what, like 8 months now almost.
Yeah.
And it still will get, they say that it will get continued DLC till January. Free DLC. So that's kick-ass if you're a fan. Imagine if a game like Call of Duty would do that. Like that's just unheard of. And they also announced free DLC for Triforce Heroes, another game I believe you haven't tried yet. And that's going to be released in December, and it's pretty considerable, a sizable update actually. They're going to release 30 new levels for free. Imagine that.
No, man, that's the thing, you know. Like Nintendo is really making some inroads in a lot of these things, and I hope this continues because it's very, very possible, like you said. You know, if they keep doing things like this, there is a very good chance something may happen with Dragon Quest X. And I'm looking at all of this news as like a prayer that maybe that happens. I got to get on Triforce Heroes too. I want to try it out because you said it's pretty awesome.
No, from what I've played, I fell in love with it, and I only played by myself, which sucks because I played the first world, which I think is 16 levels, and it comes to a point where it shows that the game was designed for multiplayer. So it's extremely hard to play by yourself because you have to control 3 characters, but you can only control them one at a time. So there's a point where you need to throw a bomb at a character that's also on a waterfall that you're creating with another character, and then you need to throw that bomb at the end of the stage, and the waterfall only stays for like 2 seconds. So imagine how hard it is to do that single player. Like if you play with 2 friends, this is easy, this is fun, but all by yourself, not so much. So I can't wait to actually have people to play with.
Yeah, man, and I'm telling you, I really hope I can get, you know, that guy to tell me, yeah, not a problem. I'll switch it to a North American model, because that's one of the problems that I have is that I look at this like a waste. You know what I mean? Like we could be capturing all this footage, making reviews and all this stuff, and it sucks.
Oh, I hope you get it because it's gonna be pretty much a waste of money there.
Yeah, man, and we're talking like $700 here.
Well, you can always download the Japanese games, I guess, for footage, but like some games like Triforce Heroes, which are for some reason locked, you can't play multiplayer with people from other countries for some reason. Like, but that's rare, I guess. Anyway, moving on, topic number 7. Which is just a little topic I wanted to mention because this is a game I kept my eye on for a while. It's Final Fantasy Explorers, which I believe was released last year in Japan, or maybe even late 2013. And it's finally been confirmed for North America. And the big announcement from that was that all the DLC that's been released since in Japan will be free on launch date here. And there's also a gorgeous special edition announced with a bunch of goodies and whatnot. And this game, I don't know if you're going to be interested in it, but it's, from what I've read, it's kind of like plays like Monster Hunter 4, but it's not as robust. So the critiques have not been that kind to this game, but it's always nice to get another huge release for the 3DS because they badly need it now. And they've announced this game, and I wonder what your thoughts are on this.
Well, I was going to import this.
Well, there you go.
I was actually going to import this. It came out, I might be wrong, okay? I did a quick thing, but I don't want to, type. But I believe it was 2014, very late 2014, like November or December of 2014, something like that. You feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, no, I saw the trailer to this and everything, and it looks good. And that special edition, man.
Yeah, it does look tempting, right?
I know, and I've been a good boy, man, because I had a lot of collector's editions that I had pre-ordered, and I canceled everything because I was just like, nah, I don't look like, if you look around where I'm surrounded by boxes right now. But I'll tell you, for some of those, like if there's a collector's edition, I'm like, for this, I'm probably gonna take it. I'll tell you, I probably am gonna grab that. And if for Dragon Quest, for sure,
Well,
just to show my support.
let me know if you do, because this is a game that's a lot more enjoyable multiplayer. I don't think it's as a game you want to play by yourself. So,
No, exactly.
huh.
And it's January, right?
No clue. I didn't write it down, unfortunately, but no, I'm
I
not
think
sure.
so, man. I think so. I think it was like coming really like soon. It's early January, I think. Anyways, I'll check while you talk about the next topic.
Topic numero 8. And these are, I always like to talk about Amiibos, and I decided why not round up all the Amiibo news that was in the Direct. First off, we have the Wolf Link, which we've already talked about, which seems to be exclusive with a Twilight Princess HD bundle. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it gets its own separate release once the new Zelda game arrives, probably during the holidays. We also had a special gold Mega Man announced, which will be released with a bundle with Mega Man Legacy Collection for the Nintendo 3DS, which I believe is the only way to get that game physical right now is on the 3DS, so that's pretty much a good enticing reason for people to buy Mega Man. It's going to be the only way to get that gold Mega Man, and we all know how much that gold Mario is fetching on eBay, so I'm pretty sure this will get sold out pretty quick. So as soon as it's on Amazon or ebgames.ca, be sure to look for it if you're interested in this. It's going to be released on February 23rd. Next up is the first Super Smash Bros. DLC character Amiibo, which is Lucas. And I believe that the Mewtwo Amiibo, I believe, is already released in Europe and in Japan, and I'm not sure if a release date has been released for that Amiibo in North America. It probably has, but anyway, I was surprised that Lucas will be the first one, unless Mewtwo has already been announced, so don't correct me on that one if I'm wrong. As well as a bunch of new Animal Crossing Amiibos. They announced Resetti, Kix, Celeste, and Bladders, which will get released on January 2nd. And as of today, there are actually 8 Animal Crossing Amiibos out right now with the new Animal Crossing Festival, Amiibo Festival, released on Wii U. I believe that was today. And it was released with 8 new Amiibos. We got confirmation yesterday. Also, the second series of cards for Animal Crossing, which will also be released on January 22nd. So that's a lot of Amiibos for Amiibo fans in January. Sorry about that. Lastly, a Shadow Mewtwo Amiibo card comes with all the first print runs copies of Pokken Tournament for the Wii U. And what that does, besides being a nice, cool collectible, is that it will allow you to unlock Shadow Mewtwo right away. So that's it. Pretty cool news for Amiibo fans, and I don't know if you have anything to add.
Just wanted to add that it really sucks that I had to get out of that, because I would have loved to have had like a desk full of all of these damn things, but they're just way, like, it's gotten out of control. I don't know, have you gone and purchased any more of these?
I actually stopped, and then a month after restarted it. I don't have them all though. I don't. It's impossible. But I pretty much pick and choose and get the ones I want. I'm currently addicting to those damn cards, though. I always liked collecting cards as a kid, and I bought a few packs, and now I shouldn't have done that because I'm actually very addicted to that. Actually, in Europe and Japan, they released a kick-ass Animal Crossing album, which you can place your cards in some plastic strips in there, and they're all numbered, so you have all the 100 cards. They all have a dedicated slot in that album, and for some reason Nintendo is not releasing this here, so I actually imported it from Amazon UK, and Amazon UK doesn't actually ship to Canada for some reason. or at least they don't ship to my place. So I had to ship it to Tim in LA, which he'll have to ship it to me. So by the time it arrives, probably the second series will probably already be out. But I'm hoping I can manage to find all 100 cards. I already have many duplicates that I'll try to sell on eBay or something, or maybe try to find a trading site. But I'm addicted collecting those damn cards, and I can't wait to receive that album. And I thought it was a pretty cool collectible that Nintendo released over there.
You should do a video of that when that comes in and show your decks. I think that would make for a very fun, just a very simple little video. No, seriously,
because you're right. I've been thinking about that. Maybe show all my Amiibos at some point also, but it's just like I don't want to look like a giant kid here, but
well, it's too late for that.
It is.
But no, seriously though, it's sad for me because I would love to have gotten a lot of the other ones, but it's just it's too much. Like, it's just way too much.
Well,
stuff.
I have to imagine you're gonna get the Wolflink one.
Yeah, well, that's different. It comes with the game.
But even if it didn't, man, that's a kick-ass Amiibo.
Oh, I know. But like I said, I don't want to get tempted. I know me. I'll take $1,000, go on eBay, and finish the whole set.
Yeah, that's the problem with me. I knew that once I started, I would have trouble stopping, and I did, and now I'm kind of getting back into it. But
see,
yeah, I know.
It's like gangsters.
It's a disease. Like, especially those cards, man. I don't know, it just brings me back to my childhood when I used to collect hockey cards and stuff like that. It's addicting.
Exactly. Like I said, it's like gangsters. You think you're out, and they drag you back in. All right, so let's see. We're at topic number 9. Very quickly here, they announced something kind of unique for Mario Maker. It's basically a search engine web portal that allows you, on your PC or tablet, and most likely on your phone too, it would most likely work, in order to search for levels and then flag them to your favorites so that you can go on your Wii U after and play them. I don't know. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I was hoping that we'll get that on the Wii U itself, because when I was looking through a lot of different levels, it can be hard. Now, what did they say there were? There were like 3.5 million levels or something?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, it's crazy. And anyways, for those, I mean, that's all I got to say about that. There's not really much news to that. I just wanted, do you want to add anything for that?
I was pretty impressed by that. I know it sucks that it's not available for, say, on the Wii U, but I like the fact that the levels that you tag, you'll be able to play them on your Wii U with a new section they're going to add. And that's something I mentioned in my review, I believe, that I thought it was a bit hard to find levels that fit your personal preferences, and that's perfect for me. It just sucks that it's not on the Wii U, but that's a good start.
Yeah, no, and I think this is actually the beginning. Once they actually have, that Nintendo ID there, or whatever they called it, I think you're going to start to see a lot more functionality like that make its way, like cross-platform and stuff. All right, so next up, topic 10 is Hyrule Warriors Legends for the 3DS. It's coming out on the 25th of March. And the big thing with this is Linkle. Yeah. What did you think of Linkle?
Honestly, I was excited about the game. I still am. Like, the game, I love Hyrule Warriors. I believe you did too. We both ranked it. I believe number 7 in our top 10 game last year.
Yeah,
it's a pretty kick-ass game, and I love the visuals for it. It has a more cartoony style. And I don't know. I think the character's all right. Like, I like the fact that they created a new character. I'm not really sure on the whole Linkle name, but she seems pretty cool with her dual crossbows and whatnot. And yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, we'll see. The character name, I think, is kind of funky, but as a character herself, she's pretty cool. She can attack both sides at once and a whole bunch of stuff, and the game itself looks awesome. However, it's the next game that Steven's going to talk about that, of all the Nintendo-specific first-party announcements, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most.
And we're talking about Fire Emblem, which finally got its North American release date, which will be on February 19th. And we got lots and lots of details, but first I just want to mention that the game looks absolutely kick-ass. Like, did you ever get the chance to finish, what was the last game in the series?
The one on the 3DS?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
What's the name again?
It's, I don't know.
Because I know that they've announced, like, because I have Revelations in my mind, but it's not it. The Revelations will be the Awakening. That's right. You got it. Yeah, because Awakening was a fantastic game, and it's awesome that we'll get not one, not two, but three semi-sequels, I guess. I don't think they can be considered full sequels, because I'm pretty sure both the games will have something similar, but they all will have a different campaign. At first I wasn't sure how I felt about this, because the Fire Emblem game on the Wii, it kind of let you play it on both sides. And there have been Fire Emblem games before that let you play it on both sides of the war. But this will be interesting to see how it plays. And also, like they said, there's going to be 3 games. I'm just going to recap. There's going to be 3 games. First, Fire Emblem Birthright and Fire Emblem Conquest will be available on February 19, and both will cost $39.99. However, if you buy one game, you'll be able to download the other game for $19.99. There's also going to be a third game released, and that's what the confusion is about, because they said that the third game will not be available or ready at launch. But yet, they've also announced a special edition of this game that looks kick-ass, and that's the one I want. And it will have all 3 games for $79.99, which is a reasonable price. But I'm wondering, when will this be available? Because I don't necessarily want to wait to play this game, but I want this special edition, so I'm not sure what is up with that.
Well, I have a feeling that third one is only going to be available in digital download no matter what.
Okay.
I don't think it will ever be a physical release, and I think that's how they'll get away with the special edition. Yeah, it comes with all 3 games, but one will be for a digital download code when it's available.
Okay, that makes sense.
To me, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I that's the way I look at it. But with this particular game, what it really reminds me of, and maybe people are going to be like, is Shining Force 3. That's what this reminds me the most of. Because, yeah, other Fire Emblem games have allowed you to play, like, on the other side or whatever. But this looks like you have the overall storyline or what have you, but it's going to be, like, really digging down deep into the other side and, like, really fleshing out all new characters and all that sort of stuff. And that's what I loved about Shining Force 3. Those 3 different games allowed you to do that. All the different scenarios was basically one global storyline, but you were playing really for each different faction. You really jumped in deep. And I have a feeling it's going to be like that. But whatever the case may be, I want that special edition too. I checked on Amazon. They have the pre-orders up for Birthright and Conquest, but they don't have it for the collector's edition. Of course not, right?
Yeah, that sucks, because as soon as the Direct was over yesterday, I immediately jumped on like EB Games and Best Buy, all those sites, because I wanted to pre-order Twilight Princess HD, because I wanted that special edition. I wanted to pre-order those Fire Emblem games, and nothing was out yesterday, so I'm surprised that these 2 games are available right now, so that might indicate that the special edition will be out soon.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really bizarre that they don't have that up for pre-order, but anyway. Okay, and the very last thing for today is just the fact that Star Fox Zero launches on April 22nd, and I am really not sure about this one. Ever since it was announced, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, the original announcement, I was like, oh, cool, you know, a new Star Fox, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sure about those controls, man. I don't know. Like, for those that don't know, on your TV, you see the action in third person, and on the gamepad, you see first person. So you see like a cockpit view, for example, if you're in an R-Wing. But I don't know. It's messed up. Like, you can use the gamepad as a motion controller to aim, if you're looking like at the gamepad, you could move it around, and then your lasers will come out of the side of your ship, the back, underneath, the top of it. It doesn't matter, because you could be flying, say, like in a straight line, but if you're using the gamepad to look around, that's where your lasers will fire. Like, does that make sense? It's really, really sounds messed up. I'm not sure. I know there's been a lot of mixed reactions since E3 when a lot of people got hands-on time with the game. Some people are like, oh yeah, it just takes like 5-10 minutes to get used to. And then others are like, oh my gosh, it's terrible, it's brutal, and all this. I am not so sure, but how are you feeling about this?
I believe I'll be like the ones that are saying that it's unplayable. Like, I tried Splatoon, it had a similar feel with me, because Splatoon, I've read reviews that are saying that if you want to be good at Splatoon, you need to get used to those motion controls. And I never could play with the gyro, whatever controls, whatever you want to call it. I always switched it to traditional controls. And I don't know how you're supposed to fly the plane and still aim, because they're saying that you can look at your Wii U gamepad and you can aim while the plane doesn't move. So is there like an autopilot function? Because there's no way you're going to be able to fly the plane and fire at behind you or something while looking behind you. How can you do both at the same time? I just don't get it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not sure. And that, to me, I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up, to be honest with you.
I have zero interest in this title. I just put it in because I know a lot of Nintendo fans love Star Fox, and I never was really a big fan of Star Fox. I enjoyed it from time to time.
Well, I have something, I don't want to mention it here because I think it would make for a very fun list of games to talk about. I think one time you wanted to do it, games like we love that everyone hates and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been wanted to do that for years and years now. I think we should actually do that soon.
We should, because there is a game that a lot of people dislike, and I really don't want to say more than that. I'll just, never mind, because it's kind of obvious. But, okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. We had a nice podcast here today. And for the next little while, if you're wondering, I'm going to be continuing the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past gameplay that I'm doing. It might not be directly from where we left off last time, but who cares? It's simply me having fun with my favorite video game of all time that just so happens to be made by Nintendo. How about that? And in Canadian Gamers, if you guys... listen to that other podcast. I'll keep you guys posted on what happens with the 3DS situation. I'll let you know. And so that's it. So leave us some comments, by the way. Last time, did we even have any comments? A mailbag?
We had tons of views last time, but 2 comments only.
And no questions.
Like, I'd rather have low views and lots of comments than high views and reverse the scenario. I'd rather have that. Yeah. Like 15 views and 15 comments would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be back in a little bit with another episode. Take care, everyone.